Let's begin indeed. Hello people, Jerry speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's WebShow's number 135. So we're doing not one, not two, but 6 step topics today. And we'll recap some stuff we're going to play on this Christmas. So let's do it now, so shall we? So we got for us. We'll start with Patrice Bouchard. Born that name, she was a Canadian actress whose career spanned over 6 decades. She became known for her role as Angela Demaris in one of the first French-Canadian television series called The Story in the early days of the French-speaking television. Wow. She went on to public career in televised comedies such as Cree Basil and Sommarian. She also played numerous theater productions, summer plays, and films. She's also well known as a Quebec French voice of Marge Simpson in The Simpsons. Bouchard has also received the title of Miss Radio Television at Cinema Mod in 1958. She was also nominated in 2008 Cinema Genie Awards for Best Lead Actress in Elaine, she played the title character. She also became a member of the Order of Canada in 1988. In 2012, she made an honor of the Martial Order of Quebec. She died today. She was 96 years old. The next step topic has to do with Gordon Goodwin, born Gordon L. Goodwin. He was an American pianist, saxophonist, composer, arranger, and conductor. He was leader of the Gordon Goodwin's Past Band. He won 3 Daytime Emmy Awards, 4 Grammy Awards, and 25 Grammy nominations for his composing and arrangements. Born in Wichita, Kansas, December 30th, 1954, he won the first big band chart called Hang Loose when he was only in 7th grade. He continued the musical education at California State University, Northridge with Joe Leach and Bill Calkins. Following graduation from college, Goldwyn was employed as a musician in the Disneyland V Park in Abilene, California. Especially, Disney approached him to write a musical show that featured past and present Musketeers, including Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. Since then, Goldwyn rose to prominence in the American studio music scene with his big band, the Big Pop Band. He wrote and worked with artists including Ray Charles, Christina Aguilera, John Mathis, John Williams, Natalie Cole, David Crosser, Sarah Vaughan, Mel Form, Wesley Owen Jr., Ian Mano, Larry Lang, and Quincy Jones. He's also the host of a nationally syndicated jazz radio program called Fat Tracks with Gordon Goodwin that air weekends on KSDS San Diego's 88.3 FM. He died yesterday from progression of pancreatic cancer. He was 7 years old. The next step top has to do with Royal Mayo, born Royal Francisco Mares Mayo Jr. He was an American singer, songwriter, guitarist, record producer. He was both the lead singer and songwriter of country music band Mavericks. Wow. Goodwin made the singles as well as Rick's professional 2003 single In My Dreams. After the disbandment of Mavericks in the early 2000s, Miles proposed a solo career. Wow. He also participated from 2001 in the Lost Super 7 supergroup. The Mavericks reformed in 2012 and continued to tour excellently. In 2015, they won the Americana Music Award for Dual Group of the Year. He was born August 7, 1985, in Miami to Cuban parents. However, much of his adult life, he was based in Nashville, Tennessee, where he's lived since 1993. Wow. 34 years, Miles was married to Bay and had 3 children, sons Dino, Victor, and Max. In June 2024, Miles had announced that he had been diagnosed with cancer. December 2025, canceled the main tour dates to cancer. With mild claim, his Instagram page at this point reached his rheumatoid disease, LMD for short stage. So, frustrated with spinal cord brain. During the bout with cancer, Miles left his Nashville home and stayed in Houston, Texas, where he would receive treatment with MD Anderson. On December 4th, 2025, Miles was hospitalized. The hospitalization occurred the day before he first did 2 nights of tribute shows, where his family also eventually scheduled the time. The set was held in his honor in Nashville. Despite his absence, both tribute shows Miles we held as planned at Nashville's Robin and Auditorium on December 5th and 6th, 2025. He died of colon cancer yesterday, something like that. He was 60 years old. The next step, Tom was John Novel Whitford. Born that name, he was an American author and science journalist for the New York Times. Born October 4th, 1943, in Murray, Kentucky, something like that. Attended Grove High School across the border nearby Paris, Tennessee. After graduating from high school, he attended Robb College for a year before transferring to the University of Tennessee in the fall of 1952. And received a BS in journalism from UT in 1955 and MA in political science from Syracuse University in 1956. After completing his master's degree, Wilford spent 2 years in the U.S. Army Glorious Corps in West Germany. Wilford's political career began commercial appeal in Memphis, Tennessee, where he was a summer reporter in 1954 and 1955. He briefly served as a summer reporter for the Wall Street Journal in 1956. Following his military service, he was a medical reporter in the Journal from 1959 to 1961. In 1962, he held an advanced international reporting fellowship at the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. That year, he also joined Time magazine as the contributing editor, specializing in science before moving in 1965 to the New York Times. For his science reporter in 1965 and 1973. Science correspondent from 1979 to 2008. While in the New York Times, he is also working as assistant national news editor from 1973 up until 1975 and director of Science News from 1975 to 1979. In 1969, he wrote a newspaper's front page article about the Apollo 11 landing. He was only blind in the front page beneath the headline, Men Walk on Moon. And under the subheading, something like that, Apollo service is closely explored. On the 40th anniversary of the mission, Wilford's article is lauded by journalists, something like that. Stephen Wadolber, co-author of Freddie Lamas, who is imparts his Wilford's skillful use of data. For example, Wilford wrote this. Although Mr. Armstrong is known for the man of few words, his heartbeats told us his assignment upon Lean's man's first land on the moon. The time of this defense rocket initiations when that. His heartbeat rate registered 110 a minute. 77 is normal for him. His shot is 156 a touchdown. Dolberg argues that this is one of the most unlimited use of data to have been the use of journalism. In the 2010s, whoever's name was only blind in the newspaper front page opportunities of Neil Armstrong and John Glenn. Weber received in 1984 per Reprise National Report to work on some topics with national imports. He also contributed to, car song in the back of my bed. He also contributed to the staff entry received in 1987 National Report and Positive for the coverage of the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. Wow. And his appropriations. He's also I say also twice. Anyway, he's also on the J.M. Royal Achievement Award for the University of Connecticut, the National Space Club Press Award, and 2 awards in the Aviation Space Writers Association. He's also the 2008 recipient of the University of Tennessee's Aviation Disclosure Award. He married twice. His first wife, Nancy Watts Pressel, died in 2015. He was married to Janet St. Armand in 2018. He died yesterday. He was preparing prostate cancer. James Warford was only 92 years. John Warford, was only 92 years old. My next step, top has to have Dave Mock. Born that name, David Travis. He was known professionally as Dave Mock, with a British television radio broadcaster. Best known for his work at BBC Radio, Essex, and BBC World East. Mock was also a deputy also in Essex. Born in 1952 or 1953 at Southend-on-Sea, Essex, England. He was before joining the BBC. Mock spent on decks and night around the 70s and 80s. Essex nightclubs and his infamous Mad Monks was also working on the Royal Celestial. Monk also co-owned the wine bar for several years and managed to continue running his law practice. As a trained songwriter in the early days of radio career, he then joined BBC Radio Essex, presented various different programs, some of that on the station. Starting this breakfast show, Monk interviewed well-known faces throughout his career, including Dame Vera Lynn and Sir Paul McCarthy. Broadcast the following time before retiring in September 2023. Including the show with the song Goodbye, by Dudley Moore and Peter Cook. On his final look, he told his listeners, look after yourselves, have a lot of fun, and don't forget, the more you laugh, the more you live. Goodbye. Monk supported the supporters for charities throughout his career, including Havens, Optics, Show, Murray's Great War, Job, Parks UK, Sir Men's Healthy Card Charity, Cast for short. He was a patron of Rabbit's Horse, Size and Hubbard Road. Drugs, alcohol recovery service. Monk's also known for his involvement with events like the Dalmore Flitch Trials and the Essex Book Festival. He's also governor of North Essex Partnership NHS for short Foundation Trust and the director of the Trustee of Disability Essex. He was previously wrote a column in the Essex Life magazine. He's also wrote a book called Whatever Happened to Dave Monk, released September 18th, 2025. It was released on Amazon. His personal life goes like this. He was born Southend-on-Sea, Essex, and moved at the age of 10 to the White House, White Horse Inn, where his parents became politicians. While living here, Monk developed his love in music and theater. He was married to his wife Caroline. Monk attended King Edward VI Grammar School, and thereafter gained an honors degree in law from the University of London. He qualified as theater and moved into law registry, DaveMonkArticleNews.co.uk. In 2008, Monk was appointed the Deputy Lieutenant in the Quality of Essex and Lebanon in the Community Charity Work. On December 5th, 2025, his announced died from Carlford Valley Hospital after previously being diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2024. He was then told he was terminated and died. He was 72 years old. Anyway, tributes from listeners and colleagues were shared on social media. Robert Thompson, a director and producer of BBC Local, said Monk was the voice of Essex. Now, remarkable impunity, country, something like that. Sorry, to broadcaster, there's something Dave couldn't do. And he taught us all the ground, hold a very opportunity and go after it. Special tribute programming was broadcast on BBC Radio Essex on the same day. The last step, top has to be Frank Gurry. Born Frank Arnold Gurry, Barrows Goldberg. Anyway, he was a Canadian-American artist and designer known for his postmodern designs and use of bold, conventional forms and materials. A number of his buildings, including his private residence in San Marconi, California, has been attractions. His most famous works include the Garnishing Museum Bio in Spain, the Walt Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles, the Louis Washington Foundation in Paris. These buildings are characterized some of that in the sculpture ritual. Often adopting extraction on native use of materials such as titanium and stainless steel. He was prominent in the 70s when there's a style that blend everyday materials with complex dynamite structures, and his approach to architecture was described as like that. For he resistance characterization. His works are inserted among the most important contemporary architecture in the 2010 World Commercial Survey, meaning very fair to call him the most important architect in our age. Throughout his career, he was received numerous awards and honors, including the Project Architecture Prize in 1989, considered the field's highest honor. He was also awarded the National Medal of Arts and the National Medal of Freedom in the United States. His influence extends beyond architecture. He designed furniture, jewelry, and literature bios. He was born on February 28, 1929, in Toronto General Hospital in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Parents say Thelma, something like that. The Fowleski Calvin and Ivory Goldberg. His American father was born in New York City to Russian Jewish parents. His Polish Jewish mother was an immigrant born in Lodz. Anyway, a creative child here was encouraged by his grandmother, Leah Chapman, like that, with whom he built little cities of scraps of woods. Wow, okay. So with these scraps of her husband, hardware store, she would entertain him for hours, building imaginary houses and further cities on the living room floors, like that. Anyway, he used the courage to steal chain like fences like that, and painting plywood. Another observation of everyday materials was partly inspired by spending Saturday mornings at his grandfather's hardware store. He spent time drawing with his father. Wow, okay. And his mother introduced him to the world of art. Wow. So the creative genes was there. Jerry said my father thought I was a dreamer. I wasn't going to amount to anything. It was my mother who thought I was going to let to do things. She would push me. Wow. Excuse me. Anyway, he was given the Hebrew name Abraham by his grandfather. Anyways, but used only his bar mitzvah in 1954, he was changed his surname to Goldberg Gurley after his then wife Tina expressed concern about Williams from that. Anyway, his family moved to the gold mining town of Timmins, Ontario in 1947, but moved to back to Toronto, Ontario after facing violations one day. Anyway, his education goes like this. In 1947, his family encouraged the United States to settle into California. He got a job driving a delivery truck and studied at Los Angeles City College. He stated this: I was a truck driver in LA, going to City College, and I tried radio announcing, which I wasn't very good at it. I tried chemical engineering, which I wasn't very good at and didn't like. Then I can remember, something I just started racking my brain about. What do I like? What is on? What made me excited? I remember art, and that I love going to museums, and I love looking at paintings. Love listening to music. Though these things came to my mother. Took me to classes and museums. I remember Grandma at the blocks, and just on the hunch, I tried some architecture classes. He went to the graduate from the University of South California School of Architecture in 1954, with professors included William Parasha during that time. he became a member of Alpha and Russian Pod. He then spent time away from the architecture in numbers of other jobs. He joined service in the United States Army. In the fall of '56, he moved his family to Cambridge, Massachusetts, where he studied city planning at Harvard University's Graduate School of Design. He also always expressed a psychology to architecture, something like that. So now was influenced by British reviews and depressed a more rebellious attitude to the world. Wow. These progressive ideas about a strategy responsible for that architecture were under-realized and not respected by these professors at the Harvard, with that, leading them to feel disheartened, and that, and underwhelmed. Wow. To say that the school culminated after he was invited by his architecture professor to engage him in the discussion revolving around a secret architectural project in progress, with that, which immediately revealed to gravity, with that, as a palace that he was designed to Cuban desire for radio restaurants, with that, Brazilian. His career began with this. Gravity dropped out of this graduate program at Harvard University where he studied. Come on, scroll up. Thank you. No, stop. Thank you. There we go. No. Come on. Anyway. Where he studied urban pet planning to start a furniture manufacturing company, Easy Edges. Where he specialized in creating pieces of cardboard. He returned to Los Angeles to work at Spencer Graham Associates, where he had apprenticeship while at USC in 1957 at age 28. He was given the chance to design his first private residence with friend and old classmate Greg Walsh. Construction was done by another neighbor across the street with his wife's family. Something like that. Charlie Scarfer. Built in Hollywood, California, with his wife and his family, neighbor Melvin David, for over 2,000 square feet, 190 meters two times. Anyway, their cabin shows them features where they become similar to where gravity's later were. Including beams protuberant shorter sides, virtual drains dug for detail, and exposed unfinished ceiling beams. He also shows strong ancient influence stemming from his earliest inspirations, such as Shoshan and Nara, Japan. In 1961, he moved to Paris, where he worked with the artist Andre Ramari. In 1962, he established a practice in Los Angeles that became Frank Gehry Associates. In 1967, then Gary Partners 2001. His earliest commissions were in Southern California, where he designed a number of innovative commercial structures such as Sun America Place 1980, and commercial buildings such as the mentioned Norman House in 1984 in Venice, Los Angeles. Wow, okay. Anyway, among these works, he is most notable design maybe the module in his own Santa Monica residence. Originally built in 1920, purchased by Gravity in 1977. He features a metallic destroyer wrapped around the original building that leaves many of the original details visible. Other Gravity's buildings completed during the 80s, including the Gravity Marine Aquarium in 1981 and Borough in the California Aerospace Museum in 1984, California Museum of, scroll up please, thank you, California Street in Los Angeles. In 1989, Gravity received a partial architecture prize, my dad. Anyway, the jury described him always open to experimentation. He's also as well serious and encouraged that resist like that. The same way that Pistachio did. But bond either way, either by something that anyway. Critical exceptions of this or the successes like that. His buildings are subsidized coloring some of that spaces and materials that make users appreciative above their fear and the backstage spoilery reveals some of that. He also continued to design other novel buildings in California, such as the Chat Day building in 1991 in Venice, in collaboration with Charles Alberberg, which is well known to his massive sculpture of binoculars. Wow. He's also receiving larger national international commissions, including his first European commission, the Virtual Aeronautical Furniture Manufacturing Factory and Design Museum in Germany, completed in 1989. It was soon followed by the National Commission, including the Frederick Weissman Museum bought in 1993, Minneapolis, Minnesota, some of that. So Magnetic French in 1994 in Paris, originally known as the American Cinema in Paris, and the Dancing House in Prague in 1996. From 1994 to 1996, several buildings by Garvey was a public housing project realized by that by Goldstein, part of Frankfurt Square, Wallingham, 1994. In 1997, Garvey brought a new level of international acclaim when the Wallingham Museum Babu and opened in Babu, Spain, hauled by New Yorker as a masterpiece of the 20th century, by legendary artist Philip Johnson, and is the greatest building of all time. The museum became famous in the striking yet arbitrary pleasing design and its positive economic effect on the city. From then on, he would regularly won major commissions and established himself as one of the world's most notable artists like that. His best received works include several concert halls from classical music, which is boring, I know, classical music. What? The project was Walt Disney Concert Hall in 2003, downtown Los Angeles, centerpiece of neighborhood revitalization. The Los Angeles Times called it the most advanced answer to Dobbers, naysayers, economic critics, and American artists that have ever produced. Greater from that also designed open air J. Pritzker in 2004 in Chicago's Millennium Park, and in Understand New York World Share 2011 Miami Beach, Florida. Let's go up some more anyway. Oh man, it won't let me anyway. Anyway, there we go. Got it. Before, let me see. Yeah, I was right. Okay. Which the LA Times call it a piece of our chapter that dares you to understatement a write-off in the first glance. His other novel works include architectural buildings such as the State Center in 2004 at MIT and Peter B. Lewis Library in 2008 at Princeton University. Museums such as the Museum of Pop-Up Culture in 2000 in Seattle, Washington. Commercial buildings such as the IAC building in 2007 in New York City, and residential buildings such as Garage's first skyscraper, the Beekman Tower at 8 Squab Street, known as 8 Squabs in New York City 2011. Garage's most international works include the Dr. Chalka Wing building at the University of Technology, Sydney. It was completed in late 2014 and originally opened in February 2015. The $880 million Australian dollars building, which graduated in more than 320,000 hand-picked bricks like that. And Glenn Strand in the sweeping line described it 10 out of 10 the scale of difficulty. He said he would not design a building like the carbon paper bag again. But this project included Grand Army Dollar, some of that, on Soviet Long Island, and the United Arab Airlines, some of that, and the former skyscraper project in his hometown, Toronto. Anyways, other submitted projects have been taken by tribes such as the multi-decade renovation of the Philadelphia Art Museum, with design state. In October 2014, he was appointed by joint arrangements with Foster Partners to design the High Street phase of the developed Battersea Power Station in London. His first project there. He's also some of his most prominent designs failed to go forward. In addition to unrealized designs for the Courage Art Factory displaying in Washington D.C. and the new Correction Museum near the South Street Seaport in New York City. He's also actually dropped by developer Bruce Rayer from the Pacific Park. We did another project in New York City, but in Brooklyn. In 2014, as the designer of the World Trade Center Performing Arts Center in New York City, some sale projects show progress. After many years of dismissal, he is representing the artist of the Grand Avenue project in Los Angeles. And though his confidential designs of the National Dwight D. Eisenhower Memorial in Washington D.C. has numbered delays for the approval progress for the United States Congress. It's finally approved in 2014 with a modified design. In 2014, two Soviet-long-awaited museums designed by Godfrey is open. The bottom module, the University Museum at Palmyra, U.C. Palmyra, the foundation was co-branded with that. Anyway, a modern art museum and the Bois Boulogne Park in Paris, France. Both opened to generally positive reviews. Also that same year, he was commissioned by River LA, forming the Los Angeles River Revitalization Corporation, a non-profit group founded by the city of Los Angeles in 2009. The corporate river policy devised a wide-ranging new plan for the river. He's also told the French newspaper Cross, something like that. In November 2016, the French President Francis Hollande that assured them that he could recreate the French. Stupid Donald Trump. What we do on that? President of the United States. Yeah, stupid idea. In December, he said that he had no plans to move. According to former Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien, something like that. He considered moving back to Canada after Trump was elected as a current term in 2024. He and Trump and Crowe had exchanged words in 2010. Godfrey's 8th Cross Street, originally known as Beekman Tower, was built 1 foot 0.3 meters taller than the nearby Trump building. Wow. Whereas until then it was New York City's tallest original building. Notable Godfrey designed buildings completed in the 2020s, including Dwight D. Eisenhower Memorial, Washington D.C., and the Loma Aires Museum in France. In 2021, not only Godfrey's progress in the increasing number of significant projects in his hometown, including Grand Avenue Project, Cosmo, and the Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles, and I was building for Warner Brothers, the Irish newspaper, saying that 74 years after he moved there from his native Toronto, Los Angeles, is looking for more and more of Garvey County. Wow. His art style goes like this, and it's gonna be, and the next one's gonna be a very long one. But anyway, said to defy colonization, Garvey's work reflected in the spirit of inspiration from that, comparable to the respect to the demands of professional practice. It remained largely analyzed with bore, speculation, tenderness, and movements like that. With earnest educational influence, rooted in modernism from that. Garvey's work sought to escape modernist stylist troops while remaining interested in some of the underlying translated agendas. Continuously working between the given conversations at conversations like that. Anyway, non-anticipated meritorizations like that. Meritorizations like that. Anyway, he was assessed of as someone who may have produced buildings that are fun, scholarly, actually exciting, and good inspirations. Although his approach might become less revolving, his pressure models to do more, live less. His styles at times seem unfinished or even crude, but his works was considered with the California funk art movement of the 1960s and early 1970s, which features the use of expensive and expensive that found objects in the non-traditional media such as clay to make serious art. His work always had at least some involvement in discrimination. He was called the positive of chain, leg fencing, and correlation male side. However, the respective exhibit in New York's Whitney Museum in 1988 revealed that he was also a shown by a classical artist who know European art history and contemporary sculpture and painting, and designed contemporary sculptures like this. Okay, let me scroll down. Come on, really? There we go. There, stop. Thank you. Now, he's described as an arboretum sculpturist, my dad. Sorry, as I always thought that architecture was, by definition, a three-dimensional object. Therefore, sculpture. The sculpture reflected as his to command the blend artworks and architectural disciplines, like that. His early works sculpture influenced his initial art approach, which includes the sculpture in traditional architectural forms, which impressing ideas and flow and informations. Akin to Victor Swarovski's something like that concept of flame bear and the device. Anyway, his Jewish immigrants and immigrant background shape is architectural philosophy. He's often represented traditional forms in the ways that reflect his monocentral culture experience. His works were described as embodying the quadrilogy of correlation. By defining his explanations of luxury and focus on creativity. Now, for gallery, I cannot read that. I'm going to show you some pictures right now. This is the first one I'm going to show you is from David Cobbett from 1957. It's from Hollywood, California. Next one I'm going to show you is Marywood Paul's Pavin. This is from Columbia, Marywood, and it's from 1967. Next one, Woolworth's Market. It's from former wildfire course from 1974. Next is X-Black Fish Sculpture from 1992, Port Amish, Barcelona. Next, RE Foreman Operation 1995. And next one we got here is Dancing House, Polage, 1996. Next is Nostra Zola, Zola, 1998. Next one is Museum of Pop Culture, Seattle, 2000. Next is Gary Tower, Hanover, 2001. Next is I show you pictures right there. You go. And that way more easier. Anyway, I'm not gonna show you. I'm gonna go fast in this one. Slow down, Jefferson. Anyway, but anyway, this is it. Okay, first one. How many pictures do I want to show you? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot. Wow. Up until the Los Angeles one. I'm gonna stop at Los Angeles one and I'll read more. Okay. That makes more sense. Anyway, let's move on. I'm gonna show you these pictures now. One. Let's stop. Okay, whatever. Okay. Okay, moving on. Next, we got Noah Zar's Wharf in 1998. I'll show you this picture now. Next, we got here is I already showed that already. Okay, move on. Next, okay. No, I did not mean to do that. I was gonna read, but I caught it when I showed this picture already. Move on. Next. I'm scrolling too fast. But anyway. Okay, next one. Weatherhead School of Management, Cleveland, Ohio. There's some kids sitting here and trying to get ready for school. But anyway, move on. Next one is Walt Disney's Concert Hall of Los Angeles 2003. There's a lot of stuff in the back building. Wow, and some clouds. Okay, move on. Next one. Richard B. Fisher Center on Hudson, New York. Just a lot of it, same with that other building last picture seen here. And there's some clouds like that. But wow, okay. Move on to the next one. Santa Clara, Cambridge, Massachusetts, 2004. And there's a lot that go on in these pictures. It's like pistachio difference. But, you know, that's just me. Anyway, move on to the next one. We got, it's like a concert. Okay. Pay Pressure Explosion, Chicago, 2004. We can move on to the next one. We got the BP Pedestrian Bridge, Chicago, 2004. It's a bridge. London Bridge is probably down Mine fairly. Anyway, move on. Next. Maria, Horror 4, 2005. And it has to do with this one. Wow. Rather than that building. Okay. Makes sense. Mark Twain's, the Russell Hall Hotel, it's a huge building. Wow. Okay, next one is IAC headquarters, Manhattan, New York, 2000. It's wow. Okay, it's just okay. It's like the difference of here, but okay. Traffic lights over here. Wow, and see the car, then see the bike. Wow. Okay, move on to the next one. Okay, Gallery of Artano in Toronto, 2008. And GO is what it stands for. And this is huge. Wow. See all the cars right here and all that. Wow. Okay, move on to the next one. World Trade Center of Las Vegas. It's just stunning, you know, seen here in Las Vegas. And it's just huge. Wow. Move on to the next one. Oracle Chief Museum of Art, Mississippi, 2010. And this is huge. This is a sharp end. Wow. Next one. And Toronto Museum of Art, Toronto, Ohio, 2013 year I graduated high school. But this is a huge building. Wow. Move on. And this is the final one. So we got Sydney. And it's a huge building right there. Wow. See here the windows and the chair. Yeah, move on to the next one. Financial Panama City 2014. And this is, yeah, this is huge. Wow, and some people, yeah. Oh, that means stop. Okay, that makes sense now. Move on to the next one. This is the last one. And that is the Grand Charter Hotel, Los Angeles Hotel. And this is huge. Wow. I mean, this is a huge building. Jeez. Anyway, move on. Anyway, next one I'm going to talk about our design career. Okay. Anyway, in January 2011, okay, he joined the University of Southern California, okay, faculty as a judge with the professional architecture, something like that. He continued his role as Alma Mater. He's also held teaching positions at Harvard University, University of California, Los Angeles, University of Toronto, Columbia University, and Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich, and Yale University. But he was often referred to as scholarship. He's repeatedly expressed his dedication to the term. So anyway, he said that he was only a archbishop like that. In February 2017, Masterclass announced that all treasure course at Top by Jury was released July that year. Wow. Surgical design career begins like this. He was involved in the implementation designs of the Los Angeles County Museum of Art dating back to the 1960s. Wow. In 1965, he resigned the examination design display of the art treasures of Japan. Examination of the LACMA. Anyways, this also followed soon after by the exhibition design by the Ashray the Leaves show in 1966, and by the Billy L. Michelin perspective in 1968. The LACMA then had him, Gurries when that designed the installation of Treasures of Domination, I pronounced it, sorry, anyway, explanation in 1938, followed by the epic grade, Gurries when that in Russia to 1910, the 1930s version, 1980. Anyways, the same year, he designed the implementation of 17 artists when that in the 60s, and the LACMA followed through after by the German missions, Scottish Revelations in 1983. In 1991-92, he designed an illustration of the landmark violations. These violations are the fate of the epic brain in Germany. So I want to say the N word, N-A-Z-A-Z-I, sorry. Anyways, which opened at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art and traveled the art of Chicago. Wow. Spear Museum in Washington and Alice Museum in Berlin. Wow. Now, he's also asked to design the installation of work of Alexander Charter in the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. Rex makes installations again provided the museum charter Stephanie Barham. Now, in addition to his long-standing involvement with the exhibit design at LACMA, which he has also designed a number of installations like that, installations with the institutions. In 1998, the Art Marvel Cycle installations opened the Installation Art Coordination Museum with his installation designed by him. 2014, he created explanation of photography by his close friend, businessman Beer Arnold, that ran from March 5th to April 1st at Milky Studios Gallery, Los Angeles. Stage design. In 1983, he created a stage design for Lucas Charles' Dance Available Light. The set, the music by John Adams. He premiered the Museum of Contemporary Arts for that Los Angeles. The contemporary was separately seen in the Brooklyn Academy of Music, Opera House in New York City, Theatre de la Ville in Paris. The set completion of two levels angel, and the variations to each other, with a chain link backdrop. The piece was revived in 2015. It was performed among other places in Los Angeles and Philadelphia. It was represented by Fridge Arts and was mission of revival. In 2003, he designed the scene of the American premiere of Canada's Oscars for that. And the government designed Fisher Center at Bard's College. In 2012, he designed the set for Los Angeles Philadelphia opera production of Mozart, which I hate Mozart the Passion. Sorry! It was Don Scarpi, performed by the Walt Disney Cartridge Hall. In 2014 of April, he designed a set for the exploration of life and career of Perry Bowen. So yeah, boring, sorry, anyway. By the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, was born in November of that year. Anyways, other designs. Anyways, in addition to architecture, he made a line of furniture, the other furniture, jewelry, or Tiffany Company. First household items, sculptures, and even a glass ball from Warburg Volga. The first line of furniture produced in 1969 to 1973 is called Easy Edges. Constructed out of cardboard. Another line of furniture released in the spring 1992 is bedwood furniture. Each piece is named after the different ice hockey terms. Anyway, he was first introduced to making furniture in 1954 while serving the U.S. Army, where he was designing furniture and enlisted soldiers. In many of the designs, jewelry inspired by fish. It was actually I got a fish image, claim jewelry, some of that. And one thing sparked his interest in fish was the fact that his colleagues were recreating Greek temples. He said this: 300 million years ago, years before man was fish. Anyway, if you're going to go back, you're concerned about going forward. Go back 300 million years ago. Anyway, when I stopped at the Greeks, so I started drawing fish in my sketchbook. Anyways, and then I started to realize that there was something in it. As a result of validation, first fish lamps were fertilized between 1984 and 1986. They employed water relators more than fish shapes. Onto which threads and plastic laminations, coral core, and are emotionally glued. Anyways, since the creation of the fish first lamp in 1984, the fish has become the recurrent model in his work. And most notably in the fish sculpture at La Villa Illumination the Russian Barcelona in 1989 and 1992. Stained glass fish was a $1 million sculpture called in 1986. Anyways, it's a collaborative with luxury jewelry company Tiffany Company, creating 6 digital jewelry collections: the Origin, Fish, Target, Aquas, Agos, and Fall collections. In addition to jewelry, he designed other items, including a distant collector's chest set and a series of tableware items, including vases, cups, and bowls of the company. In 2004, he designed the official trophy of the World Cup of Hockey. He redesigned the trophy of the next tournament in 2016. He collaborated with American furniture manufacturer Eventual on designs such as the 2004 Superlight chair, and in 2014, he was one of the 6 underclassmen that selected by French fashion house Louis Vuitton for that to design a piece of using their anyways, their iconic monogram palette inspired the Celebrate Monogram campaign. In 2015, Gloria designed his first yacht. Wow. And in 2020, he designed a limited edition Apollo Hemisphere kayaks. Wow. His software development career began with this. His firm was responsible for economy with artificial software. His firm spun off with another firm called Glory Technologies that established in 2002. And in 2005, his Glory Technologies started a partnership with Dawson Systems. Wow. Bringing all issues from the aerospace and manufacturing world of AEC, developed digital project software, as well as GT software, the free modeling and project management. Excuse me. Features of the software where and effective and mount padding, something like that. Glorious novel with complex designs on the budget. For example, the Convention Museum show completed for $3 million less than its budget of $100 million. Wow. In 2014, his Glory Technology was acquired by the software company Trumbo nominations like that. Personal life and death, and we'll get to the rest of it. Anyway, and after this is over. But anyway, and he became a national U.S. citizen in 1951. 2 years after his family moved to Los Angeles. He lost his Canadian citizenship and dual Canadian citizenship. Not Albany at the time. Prime Minister Jane Christen restored Gravy's Canadian citizenship in 2002. He was in Santa Maria, California, president of Los Angeles. After growing up in Canada, he was an active fan of ice hockey. He began Hockey League, FOC, for Frank Owen Grave in his office, and continued to play the game until around the age of 8. In 2004, he designed a trophy to the World Cup of Hockey. In 1952, he married Anita Snyder. In 1986, they were divorced. In 1985, he married Brea Rodriguez with that. And he was known for his unusual bad temper. During the trip on radio to accept the Prince of Original Award in October 2014, he received a similar amount of attention, both positive and negative, for punishing ripping off in the report for the press conference who accused him of being a shall-we-say archivist. Wow. He was a member of the California Yacht Club in Marjorie Del Rey and enjoyed sailing his fiberglass hull yacht Foggy. He died of respiratory condition in his home in Santa Monica, California last Friday. He was 96 years old. He was survived by his wife Bertha and 3 children. His private biography goes like this. In 2014, he co-founded Turnaround Arts in California, a 501 copyright freezing nonprofit that expands and sells in the arts at United Sports public elementary and middle schools across California. Wow. Indigenous serving the board member of the organization. He serves as a visiting arts artist of his students. He also served in the leadership council in the New York Steam Foundation, something like that. He's also donated his time to design projects pro Corrado. In 2014, he began pro bono work in the LA River Combination Corporation. Wow. A nonprofit group co-founded by the City Development LA River Master Plan. In 2015, he revealed his designs, which he waived his design fee, something like that, for this Children's Institute of Blocks, a LA-based social service organization that provides services for families that he experienced violence and priority. The youth organization, Los Angeles UOLA for short, was an educational service performance space that provides free instruments, music training, and emotional support for students from disadvantaged neighborhoods. Was also designed pro bono by him. It was completed in 2021. Now, his legacy goes like this. He was considered one of the most influential figures in American cultures, and one of the most influential artists in the 20th century. The Guardian anniversary called Gurry the most influential American artist since Frank Lloyd Wright. Instead, he was influenced the course of the world artist at least twice, and a former ad hoc activist in the 70s. In his career in the 90s, something like that. It was called the Title of Art Chester by the New York Times. And the words for him, he was credited for designing some of the world's most regular buildings. The Los Angeles Times described him as a artist who transformed Los Angeles' urban landscape. After his death, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, said his unmistakable vision that he lives in the unmeasurable buildings around the world. He was said to have been one of the first artists that grasped the right-wing potential of computer design. He was also a programmer of the practical effect for the museum that he was built with revelation in the city of Babu. The BBC renowned that Garvey's redesigned its own San Manuel, California home using chain link fencing, plywood, and coalition steel materials that it was built is during retaliation. Its Babu effect goes like this. The term Babu effect emerged in Auburn plan to describe the determination and phases for his architecture. Designed for the Bronx Museum in Babu realized the city. So this apartment example of how architecture they can drive uncommon commercial renewal. Anyway, the museum dramatic courses in submarine television panels, design features, and drawing style. Now, expression in the Mill moment and Flyway. And the commercial success of Garvey designed in the Garvey Museum in Barbados for that. Critics began performing the comics and commercial validation of cities proved iconic architecture and the Babu effect. The first 12 months after the museum was opened, $260 million US was added to the Boston Academy. In 2014, over $3.5 billion was added to the Boston Academy since the building was open. In 5 years, there have been many attempts to replicate this effect through large-scale, eye-catching original commissions that have been both successful and unsuccessful, such as Daniel Libeskind mentioned at their Art Museum and buildings by Garvey himself, such as almost every well-received Walt Disney Concert Hall, Los Angeles, in the more controversial Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle, Washington. But some like the concept of the Bobble effect is notion of Scarlet Catcher. He should reject the label Scarlet for that. Anyway, in pop culture it goes like this. Anyway, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Come on, really? Ah, stop. Thank you. Anyways, in 2004, he voiced himself in the episode of TV show, children's television show, Arthur, called Cows in the Sky, where he helped Arthur and his friends design a new treehouse. Okay. He voiced himself in 2005 episode The Symptoms to Seven Beer Snitch, where he's on a concert hall in the official city Springfield. Wow. He later said for his appearance, it was a cool joke about his design technique that has led people to misunderstand his architectural progress. In 2006, filmmaker Sidney Pollack made a documentary about Gurry's work scheduled Frank Gurry, which follows Gurry over 5 years and painted a positive portrait of himself, his character, as well received choreography. In 2009, he inspired ice cream sandwich company School has named a cookie and ice cream combination after Gurry. Net dubbed it Frank Burry. It features strawberries and cream, gradual and snickerdoodle cookies. Yeah, I'm allergic. Sorry. Anyways, and 2 more, and that's it. And that'll be exhibitions. October 2014, the first major exhibition of Gurry's work, debuting the celebrations in Paris. All museums and major galleries have been held exhibitions on Gurry's architecture and designs. This include the Leo Gradual Gallery 1983 and the Walker Art Center 1986, which was expansion of travel to the Victoria Art Museum, the Town Foley Arts Museum, Houston, Texas, and the Art Museum in Atlanta. Wow. Yeah, LACMA and the Whitney Museum. Museums and arts outfits have mounted exhibits of Gurry's work, including the Philadelphia Art Museum, Philadelphia Art 1992, Gallery 1984, 1992, 92, and 93, something like that. Anyway, Solomon Art Gallery Museum 2001, Gallery Museum Barlow 2002, Jewish Museum in Manhattan 2010, Modern Trinity First Night 88 and 2010, museum titled Frank Gurry from 97, and LACMA 2015. He's acquired in 1980 virtually Gurry's The Phrases of the Past Explanation, signed an artificial fragment of the Sala installation. He's also contributed to the 1985 versions branch for an installation and performance named to Croatia Del Croatia from 2000. Sorry. Croatia with Klaus Arnberg. His parts were featured in the 1996 event. It was closed in the 2008 event selection got Patrick. Sorry. And October 2015, 2121 Design Site in Tokyo, Japan, held exhibition Frank Gurry, I Have an Idea. Creation by Japanese artist Joshua C. Tane. Anyways, in 2021, the Graduations Gallery in Beverly Hills, California, held Spinning Tales, something like that. In addition of new fish sculpture by T. Gurry. Now for the awards and honors. It's a lot to read, and that's all we're gonna get for right now. And I don't know. I think that's it. Anyways, but I'm not gonna read all of it, so that's all we're gonna get. Anyway, let's do more besides regards to not 1, not 2, but 6 step topics right now. Thank you. Recipe 6 people. I was going to do the other news for the day, but we'll have to wait till next week. Episode. But Sunday's episode. Because I was supposed to be doing the episode last Sunday, but it never happened. And then, but we'll do this Friday, coming away this Friday, we'll do Elgin Friday's episode, final season episode 2. For episode 436 of Elgin Fridays. Be looking out for that. We're going to be doing something very special, okay? Coming away this Friday, we're going to do a Bob Ross trivia, and then we're going to do some dev topics, and then news to share with you. And then we're going to celebrate Dave Van Dyke to celebrate his 100th birthday this upcoming Saturday. So be looking out for it, and that will be huge, big time. Anyways, guys, that was this episode of Crazy Bunch Web Show, episode 135. Hope you enjoyed it. Soon it's going to be a brand new episode of Crazy Bunch Web Show 136, which will happen this Sunday. I promise you, it will happen this Sunday. Now, excuse me, I got to get a box meal ready on my main channel, and I'll get ready for something else. Till next time, suggest by baby, we'll be soon out. See ya.